All right. This is MC here for Web3 Talks, and today I have a special friend. She is a VC in the Web3 space. Her name is Sofia Chikara. Did I say that right?
Absolutely.
Yes. Awesome. So, I brought her here today because we wanted to talk about two things. First one is digital identity, and the second one is digital trust technologies.
Correct.
Now, I think we both can agree, not many people talk about it. There's so much of narratives out there, but I know for you, you feel really strong about it. And I know it can be a little bit technical, but let's kind of like educate our audience, what are these two things and basically why should we care, or the regular general public care. So let's start with DID. I think that might be easier.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yes, firstly, good to be back. And deep diving these topics briefly. Web3, blockchain, digital trust. How is that all interrelated, right? So blockchain has already proved that it works for payments. How does it work for payment? It is very simple. When a transaction is executed, a block is created,
right,
and that block gets distributed across a network of global computers,
right,
and hence is immutable. It is recorded and it can't be changed, and it's decentralized, hence is trustless, right? So transactions is very simple. Now, how can we translate that into a completely new industry or sector, which is identities, is really what makes me extremely excited every time I think about it.
All right, yeah.
So how could we really do that? I think Polygon ID is a very good example of it.
Yeah.
They have recently implemented verifiable credential system, a decentralized identifier, and the blockchain. So when these three protocols come together is how their Polygon ID has really been developed. These three segments are what keeps it functioning really.
Yeah.
Now, what is DID? So DID is just a decentralized identity. Another format of it is called self-sovereign identities, which is basically the same thing. What are they is users have the power to own their data and their identities. What is an identity? Is basically your information stored, your first name, your last name, your date of birth. It could be your social security number. It could be your national insurance number. All of that stored.
I guess your typical government ID, but could it
Correct.
be more than just government IDs? Like, say, for example, my eating habits. Like, I know my Zomato tracks my
it
stuff,
is.
I guess,
You correctly said that. It is your every single search online is connected to your data, which is your ID, which Google holds.
It sounds very, very lucrative.
It is very lucrative. Data ownership is one of the most lucrative business in our world today, if you really look at it, right?
Yeah.
Every single industry works in it, from healthcare to as varied as your social media algorithms. All of that functions in the very basic information of your search, of your attention. What are you watching? What are you listening to? Where your attention is while you're watching a YouTube video? Where are you really going back and forth? All that little details is stored.
Right.
That detail is attached to your identity.
That's true, yeah.
So when we say identity, we sometimes just think it's just your identification. It's not really that.
Yeah.
It's way deeper. It's data ownership.
Gotcha, okay.
So data ownership is primarily where blockchain initially, you must have heard back in the day, Hyperledger, Linux Foundation, all of that.
Right, yeah.
They were really focusing on it at one point. But suddenly, the mass market adoption happened to be DeFi and payments. So the system picked up. But I just think it's time that we start focusing back on data ownership and bring it back.
Okay, so I think the one point that really got my attention was data ownership. So every regular Joe and Jane can own their own data. Instead, your Googles, your Facebooks, or Meta.
Right.
So because that's where there is a lot of value of money involved. So would this DID allow someone like you and me to have that ownership and also participate in this economy and get some sort of financial return or some other return, I guess?
Exactly my point. The thing is, it hasn't been explored yet, but that's really the foundation.
Okay.
If you own your own data, you can use it the way you want. You can give it to a marketing agency. The marketing agency comes to you to buy it, right? The use of it is extremely, extremely variable. It can go any levels. But what is the primary use case here is identity theft is massive. You know, there are about 5 billion cases registered only in the US. 5 million cases, sorry, last year.
That's still a lot.
with 10 million of loss in US pounds, US dollars.
US dollars, sure. There's a slight difference, I know. It's hard to keep up with the conversions,
10,000 US dollars were lost in identity theft.
Yeah.
And the identity theft industry by itself is about to reach 30 billion by 2030.
Wow, man.
So if you really look at these numbers, with the advent of AI, it has gone twofold.
Oh, right, because now AI can, I guess, copy your voice?
Copy your voice, copy your looks. Get if your information, if your name is available, if your date of birth is available, everything can be attached to that. And your whole identity can be stolen to replicate, go out, get to your bank, get to your mobile, get to your SIM card company. All of that is just readily available. So that's where this industry goes deep.
Okay. No. Thank you for sharing that, because what I'm getting out of this is, you definitely mentioned, you definitely made it clear why we should care about DIDs, why it matters. Now, I think the next issue I'm seeing is because of all the scams and the theft that's taking place. There's a problem of trust in the marketplace or in systems, in governance and stuff. So I think to connect it to digital trust technology, now that kind of comes into the picture, right?
That exactly does.
Now please lay it down for our audience. What does that mean for us?
So these two are interconnected, and you rightly said, what is that? Is if we sort out a digital trust system, then you make it easier for the digital identities to be developed or delivered to the masses easily, right? The technology as in. So what is digital trust technology? Is primarily based on it's called Zero Trust Architecture, ZTA. It's a very traditional form, or let's say a framework or approach for systems to be designed and implemented in a secure manner. That's what ZTA stands for.
Right.
Now, blockchain has proved a strong use case for ZTA. What does secure system does? It really embeds, let's say, secure trust in a system, right? To provide us with secure transactions, to provide us with integrity of data. That's really the primary foundation of a trusted system, right? It reduces the risk of cyber attacks. It reduces the risk of unauthorized access or any kind of exploitative entrance. Entrance into the system. So that's what really a digital trust security system does. Blockchain being a trustless network in itself, puts the right foundation for it in place already, right? Now it's really about time of how can we develop this technology on chain and integrate it with DIDs so we come up with the digital identity system.
All right, now I'm just imagining right now, because I can see where DID come in. You got a blockchain, you got this whole system here.
Exactly.
It's really holistic. Okay, I can see. I do hope people can see the gravity of the situation.
Yes.
Because we are, like you mentioned one word, the on-chain.
Yes.
And I believe that from the fiat system to the crypto system to the on-chain economy. So that's where it's going. I wish we had a graph. I wish we had.
I know, and you're picturing exactly right, because when you said it's actually in this 3 format, the way you explained. The chart really looks like that.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and now to touch why hasn't really happened up until now, or the challenges. It's simply, as I think we were talking about this backstage already, right? Is the slowness or the low latency of blockchain as we understand it, right?
Yeah.
So we need high throughput and we need low latency for a system to be efficient.
Right, okay.
The blockchain is not reached that efficient scale as of now,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, sure.
We have Ethereum and then we have your layer 2 like Polygon trying to increase scalability, but we're not there yet to have it handle that kind of data input, to have that kind of high throughput, right, that we're talking about.
Sure, okay. Yeah.
And to give us the low latency that we need to get the outputs back.
Right, okay.
So that's really the challenge why it hasn't really taken off.
Okay. I mean, that's one from the tech side, but I mean, I would like to kind of throw in, because could it be also, there's also a lot of narratives out there, because not many people are aware of what you're talking about.
Yes.
So could that be because there's so much of noise out there, but very few signals? Could that be a case?
That is absolutely the case. You know, every time I go out, I sometimes like to bring in new narratives because I think the other ones are exhausted.
Okay.
You know, exhausted not in terms of there's no more to be done, exhausted in terms of we sometimes are talking about it so much that you're not letting other innovative industries come in it. In the Web3 space, I'm talking about exclusively right now.
Yeah, right.
And the dev community sometimes forget because they're the ones who are really building everything here, right? We all depend on them. And sometimes don't understand that there's so much more to be built.
True.
So if we start talking about the other narratives, supply chain traceability, healthcare records.
Right, yeah.
You know, these are all digital trust technologies. If we kind of build that, there's so much that could be done.
Agreed.
Also hear narratives that payments is the only blockchain solution that can come up, because other industries don't need to be on chain. You hear this often, I'm sure, right?
Sure. Yeah, quite a lot actually.
Yeah, but that's not really the truth.
Yeah.
You know, that's really not how blockchain has the potential to be way more than that.
That's interesting. You mentioned about healthcare and supply chain. There's a lot of data.
Yes.
But also but really sensitive data. So
yes.
So that's where I see DID comes in, but also the digital trust technology comes in. Now, I guess you shared why we should care about it. Do you I know it's a tough. I apologize, it might be a tough question to ask you. Now, what would be the next steps for people if they want to learn more about DID and digital trust technologies?
There hasn't much information on the web or people talking about it because there's not much being built. That's what I'm saying. Now, I think Polygon ID is a great example. They're pushing it. They're pushing it in the Indian ecosystem where our fund is registered as well. Hence, we get a stronger overview of the ecosystem. I believe so. But it's not really out there at the current period of time, just because I don't think the tech is ready. Right? We need a high throughput, low latency chain to handle this.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, other than Ethereum, I mean, I'm sure there might be some other competing layer ones. Are they looking into DIDs, or are they distracted with other industries or something?
Everybody has tried to touch on it, but they have faced the same problem. Of scalability, which is from the very top. We've heard this narrative of scalability of chains, right? But that goes back to the point of even when internet started. Remember that little circle that went on, and you had to go on a page. Loading. Right?
Oh man. Okay, that's ancient history. Oh, good lord. Yeah.
So that's
the dial-up. Oh man.
Yeah, the dial-up.
I still remember. It's still ringing in my head.
So that's it. So let's just imagine that's where we are right now. It'll take time.
Okay. That's good to know. But I'm glad you said that, because I know it might seem that the progress hasn't been made yet, but honestly, I think this is a good area for people to capitalize, whether financially, but also in terms of giving everyday people like us the opportunity to participate.
Yes.
in owning your own data and how to control your data.
Absolutely.
You know, so I think that's a good lesson. That's a really important point. So
that's it.
Anyways, but Sophia, no, time for sharing these two topics.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need to touch upon?
I think we covered it all. We've covered the challenges. We've covered these two topics.
Okay.
And it's really about, you know, I think Satoshi Nakamoto wrote it in the white paper of Bitcoin. Don't trust, verify. It's really all about that. Okay. The minute you make systems trustless, and this is about zero trust architecture as well, it says never trust, always verify.
Okay.
You know, our lives will be so much easier. We'll be stressed. It'll be the hang up of the stress of, am I feeling safe? All of that will be removed. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, but I like the mention about, you know, don't trust but verify. But I guess, you know, for many other people, they're not aware of the statement, don't trust but verify. Now, why should that matter, I guess? You know, because a lot of people, generally a lot of people love to pass their authority or their power to someone else to make that decision. You know, I trust you, you know, no problem, you know, but I would love for you to, you know, like address that. Wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Like, you need to think about this. So.
That's absolutely correct. You touched it right. You know, you making decisions, you sometimes tend to be like, okay, I trust you, but do you trust that person? Where is the data? Where is the information? Here where blockchain comes in, right? Everything is on record. It's distributed across multiple nodes or distributed across multiple participants, which is real-time transparency. You can check a transaction at any given time on multiple computers across the world. Hence what gives it the trust.
Right, yeah.
Right? The distributed network provides the trust in the system.
Right.
Let's have a simple example, right? Let's say a Google Doc. You initiated a Google Doc. Now that Google Doc has been distributed to your groups or friends or colleagues who you wanted to reach. Now, whatever modification is done in that doc is available to all of them. So you can't change the information at any given time. You can go back to the documentation to check what is correct.
Right, okay.
So you're trusting nobody within that group, but the information in the document, which is available readily in real time to everyone.
Right.
So you're trusting the document. So you can't go to a friend and be like, hey, listen, you trust me. No, the information there is correct. So that's really is, you don't trust anybody, but really verify.
Right, okay.
Because as more connected or digitally connected our world becomes, the higher the chances of cybersecurity, cyber attacks, as we know, increases.
That's true. I think any traditional company, I think they would agree with you. I think every year, cybersecurity costs just keep going higher and higher. Like
AI will twofold it. Why is that? Because, you know, again, even something as simple as social media, there's always a bad side of it, let's say, right?
That's the next step, sure.
Yeah, so the more innovation, the more technological advancements that are happening, the more you are making the system vulnerable to attacks.
Oh yes, I think the value I get from this conversation is, as an individual, as a human being, you know, in the marketplace, in society, we have to stay vigilant, really. So
Always.
Interesting. Yeah, this is really cool. This is fascinating. First of all, thank you for bringing this topic on digital ID and digital trust technologies. I think I know few developers. I know they are working on this stuff. They are aware of it. But I think this is an important time to stay ahead of the game. So, Sophia, thank you so much. But hey, before you leave, I would love for our audience to know, hey, so what are you doing in the Web3 space? You know, other than being this DID, digital trust evangelist, you know.
I don't speak about this very often, but you know, people close to me know this. I'm a builder at heart.
All right, okay.
When I started the VC fund, also, the plan was, you know, to somehow come back to building, and I am missing building. Okay. So I have started doing something in that space, and maybe you call me again and we'll chat about it.
Awesome. That sounds good. I'm glad that you're working with other builders. I think you're building builders, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So, hey, but Sophia, thank you so much for your time. So, hey, fam, I hope you received a lot of value, incredible value, and some lessons on, don't trust, verify, right? And also what the future holds. So anyways, we gotta go. So y'all be good, y'all be safe. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.